Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of the DAN Show, and welcome to my latest 2022 NFL mock draft video. Today, I'm going to break down the Houston Texans and what they'll do with the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. Now, if this is your first time here, I just got to ask you, do you like football? Are you an NFL draft fan? Because if so, you're in the right place. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I come out with new draft videos every day, Monday through Friday, and Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I go live. Anything goes on the live stream. I answer all questions. It's a great time, so join the growing community of really good, smart NFL fans. Join the live stream, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now that I got my advertisement out of the way, let's talk about the Texans and what they're going to do with the 13th pick in the draft. If you didn't see my original video with the Houston Texans and what they're going to do with the third pick in the draft, I'm going to put the link to that video below, but you could also see it on the thumbnail. I have Kayvon Thibodeaux as the third pick in the draft for the Houston Texans. Now, if Deshaun Watson's been traded, you have the 13th pick, and I'm going to assume that you haven't seen any of my live streams, because if you have, you would know that I am blown away by how impressed I was with Davis Mills. I didn't watch him at all in college, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but he, in my opinion, could be an absolute superstar. My opinion of Davis Mills is higher than even the most diehard Texans fans. I think you got a future top 10, maybe even top 5 quarterback in the league. So in my opinion, the Houston Texans bypass drafting a quarterback completely and just build the team around Davis Mills. In my mock draft, there is no wide receiver off the board yet. My opinion's different than a lot of other quote-unquote mock draft experts. My number one wide receiver is Treylon Burks, the big wide receiver out of Arkansas. For you longtime Texans fans, he may remind you of Andre Johnson. Side note, he should have been inducted into Canton this year, but he will be inducted into Canton soon. One of my all-time favorite players. Burks could remind you of Andre Johnson. Personally, he reminds me more of a Cordell Patterson or Deebo Samuel type player. You can use him in the backfield. You can use him in the slot. You can use him on end arounds. He's my number one wide receiver because I think his upside and potential is bigger than any other wide receiver in the draft. So that's why he's my number one wide receiver. In my mock draft, you could easily go wide receiver here depending on who you have as the best receiver in the draft. Like I said, I have Burks, but you can put any wide receiver here at 13, and that makes a lot of sense. You have a young quarterback in Mills, get him some weapons to work with. In my opinion, if you're Lovie Smith, you're going to build this team through the draft, through defense. You start with Thibodeaux at 13 and continue building on the defensive side here at 13. There are a lot of mock drafts where Trayvon Walker goes to Houston at 3, and I keep going over my mock draft and wonder why is Trayvon Walker still available. You could easily double dip and take Walker at 13. He provides great value, and you really can never have enough edge rushers. That's kind of your number one priority, is building out that defensive line. So double dipping, whether it's Trayvon Walker or Jermaine Johnson opposite Thibodeaux, makes a lot of sense. And I almost did that. That was almost a pick here. But in my opinion, with multiple picks in the first round, you attack multiple levels of the defense. When I made the video with Houston taking Thibodeaux with the third pick, Justin Reed was still in free agency. He hasn't signed with anybody. So safety will need to be addressed. And I toyed around with the Texans taking Hamilton at 3. And now you could use pick 13 somewhere else. But in my opinion, defensive line is much more of a higher priority than safety. In my mock draft, Hamilton's gone, but if Hamilton somehow falls to 13, that could easily be the pick here. He would be a perfect fit for this defense. In most mock draft big boards, Daxton Hill, the Michigan safety, a player I love, is mostly considered the second best safety in this draft. I don't think he really fits this defense, so I don't think they would go safety here at 13. I think if you do address safety in the draft, it would be outside of round 1. In my opinion, with Thibodeaux, this is a boom or bust type of prospect. You're basically swinging for the fences. You're either going to hit a home run or you're going to strike out. At 13, I think Houston takes a much more conservative approach. So without any further ado, with the 13th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Devin Lloyd, linebacker out of Utah. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I have a massive man crush on Devin Lloyd. In my opinion, Devin Lloyd in this scheme is a day one starter. This guy could be a Pro Bowler in this system as a rookie. I think that highly of him. With Thibodeau, I think you kind of swing for the fences. I think with Lloyd, you take a much more safer approach. Now, at 13, he may be a little rich, but he instantly adds athleticism and physicality to your defense. And like I said, I think this is a perfect fit for this scheme of defense. I think he'll be an immediate starter and have an immediate impact on the Houston Texans defense. This is my opinion. This is what I think. I want to hear from you. What do you think? What will the Houston Texans do in the NFL draft? Drop a comment below and let's talk Texans. Now, tomorrow I'm going to break down the Baltimore Ravens and what they're going to do with the 14th pick in the NFL draft. But if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Like the video, give me the thumbs up, and ring the bell. That way you're notified every time I come out with another video. And I will see you tomorrow.